welcome back to Time to Go. Bob here. Really appreciate you stopping by the channel today. So today I want to talk to you guys on the topic of Timex Intelligent Quartz and just touch a little bit on what that actually means. We're going to focus in on a watch I picked up a couple of months back, the Flyback Chronograph. Really fun watch. They've had these out for quite a few years now, and there's a whole bunch of different variations of it, but I've been really enjoying it since I've had it. I've also just want to quickly show you a new watch that I picked up just yesterday. It's my first watch in the Cocktail Time lineup from Seiko, so I'll show you that here as well. Let's spin the camera around. We'll get into the watches. All right, so first on the agenda, I just have to show you this beautiful watch that I picked up yesterday. This is from the Seiko Cocktail line. It is the Fuyugashiki, and it's limited to 7,000 pieces, so not overly limited, but I've been looking for something on the dressier side, and I just absolutely fell in love with the dial, just the textures on it. We'll take a closer look at this in a later video for sure. I have it dressed down on this leather strap for today. It comes on a bracelet. I actually have a custom strap coming in specifically for this watch. So when that comes, I will be doing the full review here in the next few weeks. So definitely keep an eye out for that. So before we talk about this particular model, I was asked the other day when I showed this watch in a previous video briefly, what is it that makes these intelligent? And I always thought that they referred to the features these watches have, which range from perpetual calendars, tide clocks, compass, altimeter, world clocks, thermometers, and of course flyback chronographs like we have here. And that is partially true. The beauty of the Intelligent Quartz movements, though, is they're designed to be an open-ended module, where as new technologies come out, they can add new functions to these movements very easily. Gives Timex the flexibility to add a feature or function without totally retooling the quartz movement. And I'm sure in the end that keeps costs down and allows us to have a watch with some really cool features at an affordable price. So it's not so much that the movement itself is intelligent, it's that Timex is intelligent in the way that they've made the movement. So with a quick Amazon search, I'm seeing these flybacks between 65 to 120 US dollars. That depends on the model, and especially if you can get it closer to the $65 mark, really great affordable watch. So let's focus in on the Flyback chronograph here, and we'll start with the question I had when I first saw one of these, and that was, what the heck am I looking at here? It's just such a busy dial. It's laid out in a little bit of an odd way. So I'm going to do my best to answer that for you. So we'll walk you through what's happening here. So the upper left dial here, subdial here, serves two purposes. During regular operation of the watch, it shows a second time zone. I'm going to insert some macros so it's a little clearer for you guys, but you tell the time with the bottom indices, with either end being midnight and the middle being 12 noon. So you use it in conjunction with the minute hand to get the second time zone, which is at 9:05 in the picture on screen now. It takes a little getting used to and honestly isn't the most legible unless the hands are completely moved out of the way. The second use for this subdial is the hour counter for the chronograph function for up to 4 hours, as shown on the upper indices. So let's get the chronograph running here, and one thing that's kind of interesting, if you notice here, the regular second hands have a tick where the chronograph second counter has more of a sweep, so that's kind of different. So between the 3 and the 6, we have a subdial that shows the minutes counter for the chronograph, counting up to 10 minutes. With the flyback function, to quickly time a second event, you can press the lower button. The chronograph will restart and then immediately start to time the event again. So the other thing that you can do is, if you press and press again while it's on the sweep back, you can hold that if you're not quite ready to start timing that second event, and when you release, it will immediately start. So otherwise, to stop and reset, it's very similar to most chronographs. Top button to stop and the bottom to reset. Kind of cool that they have the running seconds and the chronograph seconds on the central hand stack like that. Now, one kind of weird thing with this watch is the date placement at the 2:30. I don't think I've ever seen that before, and that's just due to the amount of real estate taken up by the subdials on the watch. It's a little on the quirky side, but the watch is a little on the quirky side to begin with. So as with most Timex, they are using Indiglo, but we have loom, and it's not the best loom in the world. The loom itself isn't bad, but they just haven't loomed any of the hour markers to tell the time in the dark very accurately. Again, though, we have Indiglo, and that fixes that situation and works like a charm in the dark. So the watch is a little on the large side. It comes in at 43.5 millimeters in case diameter. The lug to lug is 50 millimeters. We have a 20 millimeter lug opening and a thickness of right around 13 millimeters, just shy of 13 millimeters. The water resist is 100 meters, which I think is really good for this style of watch. When it comes to this particular model, there's quite a few different variations out there. There's different colored dials, different case finishes from steel to this PVD-like coating. I'm not sure if this is actually PVD or how they've applied this, but it is decently applied, pretty nice finish work. If you look at the side profile here, you can see it's a very simple design, but definitely works. Same goes for the case back, very simple with Timex Intelligent Quartz and some other information and specs around the perimeter of the case back. Now this one comes on a really nice leather strap considering the cost of the watch. It is quick release, which I see Timex is doing quite a bit lately. The leather has a nice feel, although it's hard to say how long it'll hold up over time. If we look at the buckle, you can see here that that is matching the case finish. So let me pop it on wrist here. So here it is, and I guess the biggest con I'd have with this watch would be legibility, especially when you first get it. It takes that extra second sometimes to take it all in and get the time. At this point, I'm totally used to it, but there's a learning curve there to both use the functions and to tell the time at a quick glance. Overall, though, I love the watch. I love how different the dial layout is, and I think this and a lot of the Intelligent Quartz models are a great buy. Timex in general is doing some really cool things right now, and I can't wait to see some more new offerings from them this year. So that's going to be it, guys, for today. I really appreciate you stopping by the channel. Always appreciate it, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.